We were told to wait. And we waited. We were told to be patient. Patient.
You've made life your enemy.
We were told it was morally grey.
You never win.
And it wasn't.
You can kill us.
And it was awful.
But you cannot kill.
So we've been doing a lot with regards to Planet Zoo in the beta recently, as you know. And I now finally feel that I've got the opportunity to... I worked all weekend, got videos rendered and everything else, and I feel like I can finally do a video on something that's close to my heart. Now, I don't even know how to approach this video because I am to the point now where I don't know if I will play World of Warcraft again.
Lord Sarfang.
Yeah, and that's me being entirely honest. I'm not being drama queen. I'm not being whatever words people want to band around and slate people with. But I've always been a big fan of story. It's always what drives anything for me in a fantasy world. It has to be the story. It has to be right. It has to be good.
Too many.
And I can get behind it. Warcraft. Yeah, the story was a little bit janky in the MMO, Warcraft 3 and the others. Set the story up brilliantly. The MMO was more focused around it being an MMO, and quests were a little bit crazy and that sort of thing. The limitations of time and everything else. And as that's gone on, we've learned more things. We've seen more of the story. We got to see in TBC Illidan and how that story progressed. Then we got the big one, Wrath of the Lich King. Still to this day, one of my favourite expansions of all time. Certainly my favourite in terms of story. And then, yeah, okay, we got Cataclysm, and I didn't necessarily mind Cataclysm. I liked the premise of the story. The biggest thing I had issue with was the very ending where the aspects go, and now the time of mortals has begun. We've lost our powers because we've done what we were set to do. Like, what? That makes no sense. But okay, you know, a little bit of a weak ending, and you made Thrall Green Jesus. Whatevs. I can go with it. And then we get Miss Pandaria, which started a little weird, a little flaky for me, but got stronger, got better, and I had no problem. Honestly, I had no problem with the Horde being perceived bad guy. I joined the Horde because I thought they would be the evil bad guys, as it were. So I had no problem with that. Now, did I side with Garrosh? No, I didn't side with Garrosh because where he was going, I couldn't follow it. But I was engaged in the story. I was interested in the story. I liked it as it progressed. Warlords of Draenor. To be honest, I never left my garrison, so if you want to ask me what the story was, I don't really know. I just farmed in my garrison for a whole expansion, and then left every now and again to raid, and that was about it. But I had no issues with the story. The story for me in Warlords of Draenor was very bland. It was very just meh. It was fan service. It was a lot of the old, you know, good to see all these old classic characters from mythology, from lore, in a slightly different light. So it was interesting, but could have been better. Yeah, they cut a lot of things out of it through necessity. Ashrine didn't really make a lot of sense to me, but hey. Then we get Legion. Legion was good. I'm not gonna lie. I had issues with some of the story. Yes, but on the whole, I liked its direction. I liked where it went. I loved the concept of Illidan and Velen and their conversations with regards to the light and about sometimes you can't. You just wait for a whisper to tell you something. You know, oh, abandon all your people. Okay then, and that's fine. You go with that. You don't make your own future. You don't go, this is what I'm going to do, and I stand by that. You know, and yeah, the cheesy, I have my scars and Taronda and all that sort of thing. Yeah, it was a bit cringy, but I liked it. I liked the story. And then...
Is that it?
And then we come to BFA. And functionality-wise, I want to make this very clear now. BFA is a reskinned Legion. Yeah, they added in islands. Yeah, islands aren't great. Could be a lot better. They
Like you?
gave us Warfront, but in essence, it's a reskinned Legion. So in terms of the mechanics, the dailies, and everything else, I have no problem with that. It's the general grind you're going to get with MMO. I've played MMOs for long enough now. That doesn't bother me. I can live with the grind. I expect that. The reason I stay doing the grind, and this is me personally, this is the thing that I love, is because I want to see the story. I want to see where it progresses. I want to see how the world evolves around me and the things that happen.
Another day.
So from the initial moment, I've said this 100 times before, we're not going to go deep on this, but from the initial moment, the story was poor. Made little sense. After the things that happened in Legion, it made very little sense. Go to war, burn a tree, boom, okay. And then we're told, oh, whoa, it's morally grey. There's a lot of moral grey here, there's a lot of interesting things, there's a lot of stuff you have to bear with us. We know the whole story, you don't. So give us time, patience, and everything else. And so we sit there and we go, okay, then we'll do that. But this feels a lot like Garage 2.0. It's not Garage 2.0. No Siege of Ultramar. There's no evil moustache twiddling, horde villain. It's morally grey. Okay, we're going for like a Game of Thrones thing here, where nobody's really good and nobody's really evil, and they're all kind of doing their own different thing. It's going to be interesting. Just bear with us. And so we did. We did bear with them. As I said at the very beginning, we were patient. We waited. We gave them time. It wasn't morally grey. It's the most puerile, childish, pathetic writing I've ever seen from World of Warcraft. Ever.
What makes us strong.
It's just absolutely awful. And for those, and I know those people are going to go, obviously if you don't agree, because this is the current trend, if you try to start dialogue or say I don't agree with something, or that I don't think this is good, then people normally say, oh, well, you're a Sylvanas fanboy. I'm not. I like Sylvanas' character. I think she was completely wrong choice to make War Chief. And again, like Garrosh, it made War Chief, she was made War Chief, for the sole purpose of destroying her character. Now, yes, we're supposed to be going to go into the Shadow Realms, and she's not dead. Let's be honest, they were never going to kill Sylvanas. Too many people liked Sylvanas as a character. I did. I thought she had an interesting character. This elf ranger that was raised again by Arthas because she annoyed him so much. And then she gets her body, she rebels against him because his powers weaken. She goes on revenge for Arthas. When that revenge is gone, she throws herself from the top of the tower, kills herself, but then comes back. And then what defines her? What's her motivation? She suddenly has these people that follow her. And there's so much you can do with a character that has that layered level of backstory. Also, she has no backstory, she's always been evil. But you can. The foundations are there for an amazing character. Like Bane. I honestly believe Bane could be one of the best, most amazing characters in World of Warcraft. When you read Warcraft, you see the conflict, and he wants to do the right thing, but he's conflicted, he's angry. Angry that he has to defend the man who killed his father through dodgy means. He didn't know it, but Agatha poisoned his gorehouse. But Bane is angry about these things, and he's an interesting layered character. He's a lot of conflict. Like Jaina has a lot of conflict, everything she's gone through. Bane just in game is just like, well, I'm just really happy about everything. I really am not angry. It's raining with those miserable. Oh, but rain makes the flowers come out, and I just like that. Oh, Bane, I just don't want to talk to him. Oh. He's that kind of person. It's like, oh, everything's great. Oh. And he is, yes, the Horde's version of Anduin. Anduin, this person that is so dedicated to peace, is such an interest. All the characters are so interesting, and they have taken something that is so. These characters have so much layering, so much time and history put into them, and they have made them one-note comic characters that have nothing. What defines Star Trek? What defines Captain Kirk? Oh, he's brash and reckless. Okay, then what defines Bones? Oh, he's always grumpy. Or what defines McCoy? What defines Scotty? Oh, he's Scottish and lies about how long it's going to take to do things. I mean, you boiled these characters down to one-note tricks, and that's all they do. And that's the problem. WoW's writing is so bad. What happened to the elves? Where was their moment of reckoning? You know, I would have no problem if halfway through the expansion we've got this. Tyrannus wasn't war chief. We had a different war chief, and all of a sudden we're like, this war was wrong and bad. It's like, but you did these things. I need to stop and compose for a second. The problem is there were so many ways I could go about this, but the writing at the end of BFA and all the way through has been so poor. So poor. And it makes it 100 times worse when you now have Classic out. And I believe that they knew all the way through. Never have we been lied to so much than we have in BFA. They knew all the way through that they'd fudged up, and that this was not the expansion, that the storyline and everything else that they thought we wanted. Nobody understood Tidrasil. Nobody understood the war after we just had Legion. That makes no sense. That is the... If you're going for a Game of Thrones supposedly story, that's one of the big issues that people had with the end. Is the whole point that armies just miraculously appeared, disappeared, they could teleport across. You know, it used to be, okay, we need to get from here to here in Game of Thrones. You would actually see the army march. It would take time. The people that were in the location the army was marching to could then go, okay, we're going to make plans. We're going to send an army around the back of them. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to hide in the,
Why didn't you kill me?
Create choke points. And it all was realistically panned out because this army had to march. And it would take an episode or two to march. And you'd listen to the troops and the commanders talk while they're marching. And it set the scene. But when you just teleport, it breaks realism. It breaks immersion.
Do you want my innocence to suffer?
That's what they've done.
The Horde.
That's what they've done in BFA. And I reached the point now where my Battle.net loads up, and it's sat. Generally the first thing that loads. It sits right in the screen. And I don't have the heart to click on it. I don't want to enter that world. And I don't even, and this is such a shame, such a crunch, I don't even want to play Classic, because I know where it goes. I know everybody's saying, give us TBC, give us Wrath of the Lich King. But the whole point is, if you keep doing that, what you eventually end up back at is...
Tell me why you spared my life.
BFA. And it's like we should have had a Black Widow movie way before Captain Marvel or anything else. You should have literally had Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow should have had a movie way before now. But now you've killed the character.
I can't.
She died. Spoilers, apologies for anybody listening, but she died. So now you're gonna give me a film that I know she's gonna die.
Not alone.
And it's like a Solo film. And they gave us Solo, and you put Solo in the position of danger. It's like, but the original trilogy existed. So I know he can't die. I know he cannot die. Him and Chewie are going to get together, and they're going to live at least till this point. Until, God, Force Awakens. But it's this constant... I'm dribbling on, and I'm going to stop now. But this is a video that is not coherent. I understand that. It's not... This is truly impassioned because it breaks my heart. And this is fandom, but it breaks my heart when something I love, something I invested so much time in, and we come to this. And if you enjoy it, I respect you. You crack on and enjoy the game. If you enjoyed the story, fair dues to you. But this is childish, and this is just poor. And I get people are going to say, it's about wizards and things. What are you expecting? Maybe you're just too old for it now. Maybe I am. I don't know. But I read the forums, and I don't think I entirely am. I think there's two sides to the WoW fanbase, and that is those that are generally broke or generally extremely unhappy with BFA, be it for gameplay mechanics, be it for story, be it for whatever, and those that are just blinkered to what they have got. And I think Blizzard are very lucky that they brought Classic out, or very calculated they brought Classic out when they did, because it has saved their subscription numbers. Something very impressive is going to have to come out for the next expansion, for 9.0.
Just like the Horde.
What I would like, if I'm being entirely honest, would be just give me... I don't want the Horde and the Alliance to become one and face everything head-on, purely because you can then merge the Horde and the Alliance to work as one faction so that it saves you guys having to worry about subscription numbers or unbalanced servers or whatever else.
I will not.
Do you know what? Just let me be a nomad. Let me not be part of the Horde or the Alliance. Let me go on. Let me go and live in Booty Bay, and I'll do my own adventuring. I'll do my own thing. But I don't have to be part of a Horde or Alliance. I can just literally be this old, grizzled old veteran that has taken off his armour and just sits in Booty Bay, getting drunk, thinking about the good old days. But yeah, that's me. Quite literally done, ladies and gentlemen. I will talk to you all another time. Have a good one, everyone.